Hey friends, welcome to Hand Stamped with Lisa. I am Lisa Preto and I have a really cute and simple card to share with you today. It is a sneak peek. It is from the annual catalog that will go live to you on May 6th. But very easy, very simple, very darling, easily duplicatable, which is about what I'm always going to be showing you. So this is the card that I want to share with you and just give you some tips and tricks on making it yourself. So when I first made this card, I made it in basic white and shaded spruce. But as we have been tiptoeing our way into spring as slowly as possible, I wanted to give it a little bit more of a pop. So I'm going to share it today with you, and I'm going to use the Shy Shamrock, which is this really beautiful Kelly green, really lovely. So I'll show you what it looks like in that. But I wanted to show you the stamp set and this die first. So this is the stamp set. It's called Beautiful Motifs. And what I loved about it first is I love all of the sentiments on here. I think it's just really, really beautiful. The fonts are great. I love the size of them. Thought those were really fun. And then you've got these great background stamps as well that are really sweet. It comes with a coordinating die cuts. And so we're going to use this fern here today, but you also have a beautiful floral, and then you have a leaf, and then you have some flourishes. So this is the one we're going to use today. And I did a little bit of the heavy lifting before I got on. The other thing I need you to make sure that you have is an embossing folder of your choosing. I am using Soft Waves. I just really love the texture on this, but any embossing folder is going to work just great to make this project. So I already did a little die cutting with that leaf. When you do really intricate pieces like this little tool here is going to be a lifesaver. It makes sure that all of those pieces come out really nice and neat and tidy. So I've got that. And then I also have 3 squares that measure 1.5 by 1.5. And what I did is I ran these through with that embossing folder to give each of them just a little bit of texture to them. And then I have a 4th square that also is for 1.5 by 1.5, but I left that one with no texture on it because we're going to stamp on that. So I'll make that a little bit easier. So in order to put this together, like I said, really simple, really easy. I'm going to do my stamping first. And so I'm going to take that square that has no, hasn't been run through, and I'm just going to ink that, my stamp in that shamrock, make sure it's nice and inked well, probably get it all over my fingers as well. Anyone else messy stamper? So much. And then I'm just going to put it in the upper corner of that square. So I put it in the upper corner of that square so that my leaf, when I put it on, if you look at this, I want to make sure that that greeting is showing as I put my leaf on there. So I've got all of that. The other thing that I need is my cardstock base. So Shy Shamrock, 5.5 by 8.5. You could always run this through your cutter with your scoring blade if you wanted to do that. I just like to use my bone folder. Make sure that we give that a nice crisp little finish there. And then I've got 2 pieces of the basic white. One of them, because I've gone with a colored base, I'm going to put one of them inside so that I have a nice place to write my sentiment when I want to send this card. So I'm going to put that in there. And then on the front, I'm going to put that other piece of Whisper White to create that front layer. Now, when we're creating really simple cards, dimensionals, I think, are like our best friend. They're going to give you that little extra pop to your project. They create, along with dimension, they create depth. And depth is something that's really important when you're looking at creating something a little bit more interesting that still is really simple. So we'll get all of those dimensionals on. I am team heavy dimensionals. I like putting on a lot so that they really stay up where I want them to. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to place this one. And you guys, I am simply eyeballing this. Now, if you are particular, you can absolutely measure this out and get your cutter and make little pencil marks or whatever you want to do. But I am just eyeballing this. And so it doesn't have to be perfect. One of the things I find is that if you intentionally go off center, it works a lot easier for you because you can be like, oh yeah, I didn't mean to try and put it in the middle. I meant to go off center. So another one of my brilliant thoughts there, right? So we're just going to layer these on just like that. So you can see that those are layered just like that. And so now we're going to take that really beautiful fern and I'm just going to put, you could use any adhesive that you want. I'm just going to put a little bit there and then just sit it at an angle here. and tap that on, and you can see how pretty that is. Now I'm going to go ahead and add a little bow with some ribbon. This is the gold striped ribbon. I think this might be a sneak peek too. One of the things you'll know is very rarely do I remember the names to anything nor where they are from, but we're not going to worry about that because it's all about fun, right? It's all about fun and crafting, and if you have questions, you know you can always reach out to me. But I'm just going to make that little bow here. All right, and then give that a little cut. And then again, you can just take a little bit of that adhesive, put it right on there, stick your bow on, right? So you're good to go. You could also, on this one, I just did a knot. Really depends on however you want to do it. And then we're just going to take some of these druzy little guys and put a little bit of sparkle on this card. I like it because we've got the gold in the ribbon, and then we've got that little bit of gold in these as well. Probably a little more brassy almost, but really beautiful. They always add just that little bit much. So you can see shaded spruce, really nice and rich. This beautiful shy shamrock just gives it a little bit more of a pop. So remember, these are going to be these are a sneak peek. They are coming to you in the annual catalog that will launch to you May 6th. Please reach out with any answers, or if you don't have a catalog, I'm happy to pop one in the mail to you. All right, guys, have a great day.